Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and I'm sitting here with a rather large printer from Epson called the WF-7210. It takes up my entire desk here, and the reason why it is taking up my entire desk is that it supports large format printing up to 13 by 19. So if you've got big paper like 11 by 17, for example, you can load it up in here and get that stuff printed out. It costs about $150 as you see it, and of course, after that, you got to pay for all the ink and consumables with it, which we'll cover here a little later in the review. Now, before we get into this printer, I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, this came in free of charge through the Amazon Vine program. However, all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. Nobody is paying for this review, and no one has reviewed this content before I uploaded it. So let's take a closer look now at the hardware. This is big, as I mentioned, 31.8 inches going this way, 22.3 inches going that way, and 12.7 inches going up. That is 81 centimeters by 57 centimeters by 32 centimeters. And the reason it is so big is that it supports larger size paper versus most middle of the road printers. So this is an 8.5 by 11 page right here. This is 11 by 17, and the printer will support up to 13 by 19 borderless, which is pretty nice to see. And 11 by 17, I think, is probably the sweet spot because it can do auto duplexing with that larger size. And we're going to test that in a minute. So that is why it is so big. It works off of ink cartridges, unfortunately, so you will be spending some money on that. It comes with your starter set that you usually see with these types of printers. If you want to do a full ink replacement, it'll cost you about $68 for kind of the standard capacity kit. That includes a high-capacity black that can do about 1,100 pages, and then the color cartridges can do about 350 pages. That's going to vary based on what you are printing, because a lot of times they base these capacity estimates off of standard kind of coverage. But if you're printing 11 by 17 borderless and filling up the page with ink, that's going to drain a lot faster. They do have a high capacity kit that costs about as much as the printer does itself, about 140 bucks. It does have two paper trays. They each hold about 250 pages each. So you can put maybe larger paper in one tray and smaller paper in the other. One thing that's going to trip you up when you first get the printer is that you have to extend out the tray here. So there's a little switch here that you have to hold down to kind of extend out the rest of the tray here to accommodate larger paper. So depending on the size of the paper you're using, the tray is going to stick out a bit here because it doesn't fit 11 by 17 when it's in this flush configuration. You do have to extend out the thing there to get it to work, and I'll cover that when we go to print something in a little bit. And in addition to the two paper trays here, you also have a manual feeder for envelopes and photo paper and that kind of stuff. It also supports the large formats in the back, so maybe if you have a thicker piece of paper, it's probably better to put it up here so it can pass through easier. So you have that as an available option. Just know that if you are putting in paper larger than 8.5 by 11 here, this thing is going to stick out a bit. And just be prepared for the added dimensions you'll need for your desk in order to accommodate that. This is not a copier, scanner, fax machine. This one is just a printer. So if you are looking for those features, they might have one perhaps that has those things. But this one, at least for this review, is just going to be printing out stuff today. You can connect it directly to your computer with USB. You also have the option of connecting it via Ethernet to your wired network. So if you're in an office environment, that's probably the easiest way to get up and running with it. What I did with mine here, though, is I just navigated through its little arrow keys here using the black and white display to get it on my Wi-Fi network. And once it was there, I was able to get my Windows and Mac computers to connect to it automatically. And that is, I would say, the recommended way, for me at least, to get your computers connected to this. Don't futz around with the disk. Just get it on your wireless network and point Windows or Mac OS at it, and you'll be able to get up and running with it. I am going to have a video on my Extras channel that shows you how to get it to work with a Chromebook, because it does support Google Cloud Print, but there's an additional configuration step to get your Chrome devices working with it. All right, so I've got a document up here on my Mac that I'm going to print out. This is kind of the document you might print with this kind of printer in a small office environment. Photos and text and a lot of different colors and graphics and whatnot. And then on the second page is just a bunch of text, so we can see how fast it can print out stuff in just regular black and white. And we're going to do this as a duplex at 11 by 17. So I'm going to go over here to print. I got to make sure I got it on the right printer here. We will do a borderless print in a minute or two. Now I'm going to put it on normal right now for its quality, just to see how fast it prints out in its usual print mode there, and I'll tell you about the quality on the higher setting after we're done here. So I'm going to click on print now because we got everything all set, and we will see how fast all of this stuff comes together here. So let's cut over to the printer so we can get a feel for its print speed. And while it's printing, I just want to show you that those dimensions I gave you earlier were not for the entire printer, essentially, because once you pull out this tray, you've got a lot more room you need to accommodate it. So you will definitely need some room here to work with this printer. But you did see how fast that black and white page came out. It sucked it back in, and now it's going to do the color page here on the front. And it actually comes out pretty quickly. If I switched it to the better mode, the photos would look a little better, but it will print a lot slower. It's about half the speed when I had it in that best mode. And I'll put some B-roll up to show you what the quality looks like here and compare the two. It's actually pretty close between the two. So this is how it came out. A little bit lighter than it looked on screen. I might have to adjust some colors and whatnot to get that just right. But overall, for a quick print here, not bad. And I've got some thinner paper, so I think if you had thicker paper, it might look a little better. But overall, I'm pleased with the quality, even on the lower setting here. The text looks very sharp, and the photos do look better in the best mode. But by and large, I think this is definitely good enough for most small business documents. All right, so let's try out a photo now. And I've got some very expensive 11 by 17 glossy paper loaded up in the printer. And we're going to see how well it can print out this 11 by 17 photo that is coming off my phone here. I just want to show you some of the options that they have in their app, which is what I'm running right now on my iPad. They have a version of this app for Android also. And I think if you're printing out photos from your phone or other mobile device, the app is probably the best way to do it. It does support native printing on the iPhone and iPad through AirPrint, and there's also an extension for Android devices you can get as well. But I think for photos, you'll want to use their app because you can select a lot of the details, like the type of paper you're using and setting up the borderless stuff and all of that kind of thing. So you can see I've got my paper source set to manual feed. Print quality is at best, and I also set the paper up there. Going to click on done here and going to click on print now. The last time I tried this, the app crashed on me, but it looks like now it is working. So there might be a hit or miss experience with the app. And I expect this to take a long time to print, so I might do a cutaway here and give you an estimate as to how long this photo took to come out of the printer, because this is something that is going to take quite a bit of time here, especially at this quality level. So we'll be right back once this printer is done printing. So it took about 5 minutes or just short of that, and we did, though, get an 11 by 17 photo here. And I'll try my best to give you a good idea as to what this looks like here. So it is borderless, and it looks okay. I mean, the detail is certainly there, but it is a little washed out versus the original that was on my phone. So I think this is a good printer, but probably not great for photo printing. I think it's really going to be more of something you'll want to use for business graphics and that kind of thing, because the images are looking a little washed out to me on both paper and glossy photo paper. But nonetheless, you are able to get a really nice size borderless print here out of this device. You just need to have enough room to make it work. So all in for $150, it is a pretty decent printer. It's kind of a middle-of-the-road printer with middle-of-the-road quality, but I do like the fact that you have the large format option here. You also have borderless printing on it. Just don't expect photo printer quality out of here. It's a 4-ink printer, and therefore, you're not going to, again, get the quality that you'll have out of a printer designed more for high-quality photo prints. But for business graphics and, I would say, light printing on larger documents, this will probably fill a need for many people. But just know it is going to take up a ton of room in order to provide you that service. So just be prepared for the size, and don't be prepared to be blown away by the image quality. But again, I think it's adequate enough for many small offices looking for some large format printing. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters of the Black Eyed and Blues Music Hour podcast, Chris Allegretta, and Kalyan Kumar. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.